Hi everyone, for today's book review we're going to be checking out Simon Mills' Inside the Britannic. This was requested much earlier in the year and I so apologize for the delay in finally getting this review done, but life happens and here we are. We're going to be taking a look at Inside the Britannic, and it needs to be said that Simon Mills has come a long way both in his writing and in his relationship with the wreck. As you know, he is the owner of the wreck of the Britannic. And one of his earliest books was this rather slim volume of Britannic, The Last Titan. In the last couple of years, he's produced a series of books that have brought the Britannic story up to date and provided us a far more comprehensive history of the sinking of the Britannic and the condition of its wreck. Inside the Britannic is really a continuation of the series that he started with Exploring the Britannic, which looks at Simon Mills's relationship with the wreck and some of the expeditions that had been undertaken to explore and document the wreck. And then a more technical look at the Britannic was produced in his book Olympic, Titanic and Britannic, The Anatomy and Evolution of the Olympic Class. And our existing book, Inside the Britannic, is the further evolution of this series. This book does exactly what the title says and provides us with a forensic look at the wreck, with an especially detailed focus on the interiors. It is so thorough there is even a chapter in this book called CSI Britannic. Going through this book, it is enormously detailed regarding the physical condition of this wreck, and it details a significant number of amazing features. This is all supported by some beautiful photography, and you're seeing some examples up here in the top corner. Almost all photos are in beautiful, crisp color. There's a handful of historical black and white photos. All of this is accompanied as well by diagrams and deck layouts, so you can also visualize where the various expeditions and photographs are being taken, and you're following this through the structure of the ship. And I need to reiterate that the focus on this particular book is on the wreck itself. For more technical analysis, for more information about the sinking, while this is all dealt with in the book, it's all dealt with briefly, and you can find more detailed accounts of those in the previous books. This one is just about the wreck and its current condition as of 2023. You can see through the photos and through the accounts that the wreck has survived surprisingly well over a century under the water. And what I found fascinating was, as he's going through and the divers are going through the wreck and documenting what survived and what the condition is, you can appreciate just how strongly built this ship was, because relatively speaking, it's still in decent condition. Obviously, with time and constant corrosion, the wreck will change and eventually collapse. But for the time being, it is surprisingly still intact. And through the wreckage, you can also determine with some idea what damage was done by the mine, what damage was done by the sinking event, and it's particularly illuminating just how forceful and violent some of the after sections of the ship, particularly the after staircase dome, and that region was affected by the power of the water as the ship went into its final dive. And you can also determine what parts of the ship have just simply corroded over time. Some parts of the ship are so well preserved that if you were to polish it and remove the silt, it would almost be as good as the day it was fitted. While the text is detailed, it's never overwhelming, it's never dry, and it's always illuminating to find out all these different elements of what's inside the ship that has survived. And also, this book allows you to understand how the Britannic has evolved from its original design as an ocean liner to adaptations made throughout the design and construction process, as well as how it was converted and operated as a hospital ship. And then to add to this layer of information, the author also then details some of the differences between the two ships, as well as an analysis of how the hulls of both the Britannic and the Titanic reacted and behaved as they went through their respective sinking processes. Tons of detail, lots to pore over, and this book is just brilliant in all respects. 5 captain's hats, without a doubt. And it will appeal mostly to those who want to understand what the Britannic looks like from the inside. What is the condition of the wreck? What can you see? What can you identify? And how it operated as a hospital ship. If you want to learn about how the Britannic sank, if you want to learn about the various structural features of the ship, while there's some of that here, it's best to go to some of the other books, such as that volume. But also, if you've collected his previous books, this is just another addition to the collection, because it does round out our knowledge of Britannic. So if you love the Britannic, if you love understanding what happens to ocean liners under the water, if you love understanding wreck archaeology and the evolution of wrecks as they corrode and the analysis thereof, this book is amazing for that. So without hesitation, by all means, go get this book onto your bookshelves. Inside the Britannic by Simon Mills.